When the first brand new issue, #1, for Aquaman came out a few months ago, I heard good things about it. Even though I'm a huge Aquaman fan, I didn't jump right over and check it out. You know, sometimes the first issue is good, but then the second one drops off. So I waited for a bit until the second issue came out and finally read the first issues. And my immediate impression was, this is good. Now, putting all my cards on the table, I am a huge Aquaman fan. And if I'm being honest, the first thing I loved about the first issue is the new power set they gave Aquaman. The power set that I thought he should have had for the longest time. It might seem illogical to some, but I thought Aquaman should have always been able to control water. He's the king of Atlantis. He can swim through the ocean at blazing fast speeds. Why couldn't he control water? It just seemed like a power that went hand in hand for Aquaman. But I digress. So, the first 2 issues hooked me. As a brief recap, in case you haven't read them, Arthur Curry is a superhero and was shown some amazing visuals by series artist John Tim. Aquaman is learning his new power set from his wife, Mira, but Arthur is also the king of Atlantis. And even though he appreciates the responsibility that comes with being the king, he's bored. He doesn't want to be a politician all day, listen to the complaints of bureaucrats. He wants to be out in the world looking for action and helping people. In issue 1, he's called to do just that and fight some kind of huge magical water kaiju. Again, the artwork is amazing. The design of this beast is fantastic. Tim is just incredible on this issue. But after the fight, Aquaman feels like something's wrong. And indeed, there is. He returns home to find no Mira, no child, and no Atlantis. And all that's left in its wake is a mysterious large pearl. Arthur then turns to the Justice League to try to figure out what just happened. When they venture underwater to figure it out, Arthur is then transported to some other world, and what's left behind is an Omega Gate, a very ominous sign of Darkseid. Now, before continuing on, I should mention the writer of this series, Jeremy Adams. I haven't read any of his work before, but he's knocking it out of the park with this Aquaman series. Not only is the storytelling solid, but we get a good amount of backstory without an info dump. And every superhero book needs some good superhero fights, and Adams delivers just that. All in all, with these issues, he's got me hook, line, and sinker. Ha! A fish joke.
Waka waka.
Anyways, back to the series. In issue 2, we're literally starting a fish out of water story. Pun intended.
Waka waka.
Arthur's on a strange planet, and he has to face some strange creatures riding a wild lizard-like monster. It's totally giving off the fantasy-esque vibes, and I'm here for it. Arthur beats these creatures and heads back to their master, a hideous woman named Jenny Greenteeth. She resides in a lair completely overrun by vines. Now, for a minute, I thought they were going to try to pull some kind of rift on Poison Ivy, but no, this character was a really vile villain that wanted to feast on Arthur's blood because of the water in it. Jenny Greenteeth is able to use the vines to capture Arthur, but he uses the blood around him. He destroys the entire area. It's actually pretty wild. You got blood splattering everywhere, Arthur Man looking crazy. It's awesome. Issue 2 ends with Arthur making 2 allies, one of which is Arion, who is a former king of Atlantis. It's not really explained how he's on this weird world. This leads us into issue 3, and they journey with Arthur to a frozen area of the world where the woman ally named Vivian is going to make a new weapon for Arthur to wield. Why is she doing this for him, and why are these 2 people even aligning themselves with Arthur? It's because they believe he is the fulfillment of a long prophecy called the Dark Tide. It's here we really get into the fantasy elements of this new Aquaman series. I don't know if the entire series is going to be like this, but this first arc is, and like I said, I'm here for it. In this world, the people believe in something called the blue, water, but it's an all-powerful form of life force. The blue is like a supernatural force. It's been around for eons. There's actually a page in issue 3 where Vivian explains this to Arthur. The cosmos was balanced for a long time by chaos and order, but the balance was lost. Chaos went crazy. But once balance was restored, chaotic energy went out through the universe and is sort of described as kind of a building block of all things like the Green Lanterns or supernatural beings like Swamp Thing. It's a really interesting concept. Water is magic, and in this world where Arthur is now, there is a great evil called Lord Dagon, who controls all of it, and Arthur is the prophesied Dark Tide, the vessel for the power of a god who can destroy Lord Dagon. But issue 3 ends with Arthur being taken hostage by a squad of evil mermaids, one of whom Arthur knows. These mermaids have to serve Dagon for some reason. So this brings us to issue 4. While Arthur's allies are building his new weapon, He's being held captive in the hull of this crazy fantasy-esque ship that's covered in bones from some creature. It's pretty awesome. But he escapes his jail by withdrawing the water from the wood, making the wood brittle, and then smashing through the bottom. Oh yeah, he smashes through the bottom because his boat is traveling to the blue on some kind of supernatural water freeway. It's pretty wild. Underneath the water freeway is what looks like some kind of Atlantean city. A chase scene ensues and the wicked mermaids chase Arthur, but then his allies show up. The one that was making his new weapon is there, and it's some kind of crazy trident sword called Thalassa the Trilance Saber. Using the new weapon, Arthur literally tears through the entire ship with this blade. Aquaman then kicks butt against the mermaids, and then Arion tells him that Lord Dagon knows the dark tide is on the way. That's the summary of these 4 issues. You really need to read this series. This Aquaman series is totally awesome. I'm loving all the fantasy elements in it, from the magical weapons to the crazy ship to the prophecy of the dark tide that Arthur is supposed to somehow fulfill. As I already said, the artwork is flat out terrific. Timms does an amazing job not only capturing the action of the book, but the emotions on the faces of the characters. And Jeremy Adams is nailing the tone. It's still a superhero book because Arthur is Aquaman. Even if he's not on Earth, he's still on a quest. He's still trying to help people. He's still trying to save the day. But the beats of the story keep moving fast, and when it needs to slow down, like filling in the exposition of the story, he fills it out perfectly without a lot of backlog, without a lot of drag. If you aren't reading this new Aquaman series, definitely check it out. I seriously recommend it. If you like this review, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.